A shopper scans a supermarket rice aisle looking for one specific bag, and it is not there, even though national rice stockpiles in the United States are sitting at their highest level since 1985. 4 rice products sold nationwide have hit documented disruptions, from safety recalls to tariff shocks to vanishing exports. If your household buys any of them, here is what is happening, starting with number 4. Number 4. Lundberg Family Farms. Organic Jasmine rice faced a nationwide recall that caught many shoppers off guard. In April 2026, this family-owned grower from Richvale, California, voluntarily pulled its regenerative, organic, certified white jasmine rice from shelves across the country. The FDA classified the recall as Class II, citing the risk of possible foreign material in the product, serious enough to warrant action but not life-threatening. The recall was tightly focused. Only 2-pound bags with lot codes 260201 and 260202, marked with best by dates of February 1st, 2027 and February 2nd, 2027, were affected. These bags were distributed through retailers such as Wegmans, and the company advised consumers to either discard the rice or return it to the store for a full refund. No illnesses or injuries have been reported, and the issue was traced to a single production run. Because the disruption is limited to this specific premium organic jasmine line, rather than a broad swath of mass-market rice, the shelf impact has been immediate but contained. Still, for families who rely on Lundberg's organic jasmine, the recall is a reminder that even with record U.S. rice stockpiles, a single lot code can make all the difference between a full pantry and an unexpected gap. Number 3. Ben's Original Rice became the focus of a sweeping recall in October 2025, affecting a range of products that fill American pantries. The company, known for its long grain white, whole grain brown, and long grain and wild ready rice, pulled select batches from shelves nationwide after small stones, traced back to the rice farm, were found inside sealed pouches. The FDA issued a Class II recall, warning that swallowing these stones could cause oral or digestive tract injuries. Each recalled package could be identified by specific batch codes and best buy dates stamped on the bottom seal, making it critical for families to check their pantry staples closely. The scale of this recall set it apart. Unlike smaller specialty recalls, Ben's Original Ready Rice products are distributed through major retailers, including Target, H-E-B, Amazon, United Markets, and Piggly Wiggly. That broad reach meant the warning landed in kitchens across the country, from weeknight dinner tables to emergency prepper stockpiles. The company urged customers to discard any affected packages or return them for a refund, emphasizing that the issue was limited to certain lots and that no injuries had been reported. Still, the disruption was felt widely as shoppers discovered familiar orange pouches missing from shelves or flagged by recall notices. This incident highlights the disconnect between record U.S. rice stockpiles and the reality that a single recall can temporarily erase multiple product lines from the nation's grocery aisles. For households relying on Ben's Original for quick meals or long-term storage, the advice remains clear. Check the codes, stay alert to FDA updates, and don't assume a full harvest guarantees a full pantry. Number 2. Basmati rice imports faced a double shock in late 2025 that sent ripples through American grocery aisles. In August, the United States imposed a 50% tariff on Indian goods, including Basmati rice, in response to India's ongoing purchases of discounted Russian oil. The new duty landed on top of an existing 25% reciprocal tariff, instantly making Indian Basmati far more expensive for U.S. importers and shoppers. Pakistani exporters publicly stated that these costs would effectively price Indian Basmati out of the U.S. market, cutting off the main supply line for one of America's most popular aromatic rices. Just as the tariff took hold, catastrophic flooding swept through Punjab, the heart of Pakistan's Basmati production. The monsoon submerged more than 150,000 hectares of farmland, with industry officials estimating that 10 to 35% of the crop was lost, depending on the region. Roughly 90% of Pakistan's Basmati comes from this single area, so the damage immediately squeezed global supply. For U.S. households, the timing could not have been worse. More than 60% of America's rice imports are aromatic varieties like Basmati and Jasmine, and both Indian and Pakistani pipelines were disrupted in the same month. By February 2026, a new U.S.-India trade deal brought the tariff down to 18%, but the relief was partial. Import costs for Indian Basmati remained well above levels before 2025, and shelf prices reflected that persistent gap. While the rest of the rice market was seeing record-high U.S. inventories and falling farm prices, Basmati buyers faced sticker shock and empty spots where familiar brands once sat. The spike in tariffs, combined with weather-driven crop losses, created a supply crunch that hit hardest for families who rely on aromatic rice for daily meals and emergency stockpiles alike. This disruption stands out not just for its scale, but for how it exposed the fragility of the U.S. import system. Domestic rice farms grow almost no Basmati, leaving American shoppers dependent on a handful of trade routes that can be shut down by politics or floods overnight. For anyone who counts on Basmati rice, the advice is immediate. Check prices against last year's receipts. Watch for sudden gaps in your local store, and consider diversifying your pantry in case the next shock arrives without warning. And finally, in first place, Thai Jasmine rice faces a supply squeeze that reaches every corner of the U.S. grocery aisle. Thailand remains the undisputed source for jasmine rice on American shelves and in restaurants, with most U.S. imports coming directly from Thai exporters. But between January and May 2026, Thai rice shipments dropped nearly 11% compared to the same stretch in 2025. The Foreign Agricultural Service tracked just 2.2 million tons exported in those first 5 months, a sharp fall from the previous year. While much of the decline is tied to conflict-disrupting Middle East markets, the impact echoes across the globe, tightening the flow of jasmine rice into the United States. The risk doesn't end with trade routes. The International Grains Council has flagged a new threat: developing El Niño conditions in Southeast Asia. As Thailand enters the 2026 to 2027 growing season, climate models point to a real chance of lower yields if drought patterns take hold. For American families who rely on jasmine rice, this is more than a distant weather story. The U.S. produces almost no jasmine domestically. Aromatic acreage is negligible, according to USDA statistics. That means when Thai exports falter, there's no homegrown substitute ready to fill the gap. Unlike a recall that pulls a single batch or brand, a drop in Thai jasmine exports is a broad disruption. It can empty entire sections of the rice aisle, not just a few specialty products. Even as U.S. rice stockpiles hit their highest mark since the mid-1980s, the absence of imported jasmine creates a paradox. Plenty of rice in the country, but a shortage of the variety many households want most. Prices for jasmine can jump overnight, and shoppers may find familiar bags missing for weeks at a time. For anyone who counts on jasmine rice, the advice is direct. Check your favorite brands for price hikes or missing inventory, compare shelf prices to last year's receipts, and don't assume that a full harvest elsewhere guarantees a steady supply of what you actually use. When one country supplies almost all of a staple, a single export dip or climate event can ripple through every American pantry. Across all 4 disruptions, one fact stands out. America's rice shelves can empty, even as warehouses overflow. The paradox is real. Brand-level shortages hit homes despite national abundance. Check your pantry codes, compare today's prices to last year, and tell us what's missing in your store below.